Ilia Topuria is already deep in camp preparing for what might be his most dangerous challenge yet, and this matchup against Justin Gaethje at the White House event has fight fans everywhere talking about the potential for absolute mayhem once these two step into the octagon. When you look at what we're dealing with here, you've got Gaethje's trademark relentless aggression and bone-crushing power going up against Topuria's incredible streak of dominance that has everyone in the sport paying attention. The biggest voices in MMA, from former champions to respected analysts who've seen it all, have already started weighing in on this explosive collision, and their insights reveal just how compelling this fight really is. Michael Bisping broke down why the White House matchup between Ilia Topuria and Justin Gaethje is exactly the kind of fight that should be headlining an event this big, making the case that people got so caught up in speculation about other potential fights that they missed what was right in front of them. According to Bisping, and he makes a strong argument here, all the chatter about Islam Makhachev overshadowed the fact that this booking is already massive on its own merit. Like, you don't need to search for star power when it's already built into the matchup itself. Topuria sits as the interim champion with knockout power that ranks among the most feared in the entire sport, the kind of devastating one-punch capability that can instantly flip any fight on its head. Meanwhile, Gaethje earned his reputation as someone who brings pure violence and excitement every time he competes, which explains why crowds go crazy whenever his name gets announced. Bisping spent considerable time discussing how lethal Topuria's striking has become, really highlighting the constant threat he presents throughout any fight. His point was that when Topuria lands clean with those precise, powerful shots, fights have a tendency to end abruptly, even against proven veterans like Gaethje, who have survived countless wars. But here's what's important to remember, and Bisping emphasized this heavily: Gaethje never walks into big fights unprepared, and will definitely have a smart, detailed strategy ready for something this significant to his career trajectory.
But let's talk about this real quick. Now, first things first, the fight that should happen and is happening, thankfully, is Ilia Topuria versus Justin Gaethje, okay? Never mind Islam Makhachev. I know that would be a tremendous fight, and we'd all love to see that. And I would like to see them finally settle this beef that kind of Topuria started, just going after Islam, and I get it. That's what you got to do. You got to chat shit, you got to talk big, you got to try and generate hype to get the biggest fights, because you want to get in, make some money, and get out as fast as possible. Like Conor McGregor said back in the day, right?
Get in, get rich, get out.
And Topuria is doing just that. I mean, look at the run that he is on. By the way, if he knocks out Justin Gaethje at the White House, that respectfully to Justin Gaethje, there's a good chance that that happens, because the punching power is just different. It really is. And Justin Gaethje got cracked off Paddy Pimblett multiple times. You never know. I'm not counting out Justin. He's going to do a great training camp, and I'm sure he'll come up with a great...
Something else Bisping focused on, and this carries major implications for both fighters, was the momentum Topuria has built through his recent performances. He discussed how systematically finishing respected opponents changes everything about how the division views a fighter and their potential. It goes beyond just collecting wins, it's about the manner of victory that creates lasting impressions. Should Topuria manage to finish Gaethje too, which definitely falls within the realm of possibility based on what we've witnessed lately, it would mean adding another massive recognizable scalp to an already remarkable collection and launching him even higher into the conversation of elite divisional threats. This possibility, this chance for Topuria to deliver another highlight reel moment, is precisely what gives this White House matchup such weight and excitement as we approach fight night. We might be witnessing someone build a legendary resume in real time.
Strategy, but one shot from Ilia Topuria can put you to sleep. Just ask the last few people that he knocked out. Who were they? Well, that would be Justin, if it happens. That would be Charles Oliveira. Absolutely flatlined that guy who looked ridiculous against Max Holloway. Before that, it was Max Holloway, right? Stopped him, made it look kind of easy again, and before that, knocked out Volkanovski, right? The man's punching power is on another level. Can you imagine he knocks out Justin Gaethje as well? What a run. Four of the biggest names in mixed martial arts, and he knocks them out one after the other, consecutively even, right?
Charles Oliveira came to the defense of the White House card as a legitimate important event, countering some of the negativity that had been circulating in certain circles. His argument centered on people forgetting Gaethje's actual standing in the sport and everything he's achieved throughout his career. Oliveira reminded everyone that Gaethje had accomplished serious things in his time, including claiming interim championship gold not once but on multiple occasions, plus earning that BMF belt that resonates so strongly with the fan base. His emphasis was that Gaethje wasn't some random competitor getting thrown into a major spot just to fill space on the card. Not even close. Instead, he represented a fighter with legitimate credentials across his resume, a championship-caliber competitor with an earned reputation as one of the most durable and thrilling fighters the entire division has to offer. That background becomes crucial when you're deciding whether this fight deserves such a prominent platform.
We're told that Ilia Topuria is on the heels of everybody. So now he's going to come in against your favorite fighter's favorite fighter. We're completely dismissing Gaethje, which I feel that you're forgetting is a two-time interim champion of the world. Tell me somebody else who can make that claim. Who's a BMF champion of the world. Justin Gaethje has captured 3 belts and is going for his 4th. They brought you what they had. You then had other guys.
Kamaru Usman viewed the White House main event between Ilia Topuria and Justin Gaethje as a perfect fit for what this particular card needed to accomplish, and his logic really holds up when you consider the event's goals. His argument was straightforward and convincing. If you had to pick one fighter who absolutely belonged on a major American event like this, someone who represents everything American fight fans appreciate about the sport, it would be Gaethje hands down. Usman highlighted how Gaethje consistently shows up ready to engage and never holds anything back, regardless of the opponent or circumstances surrounding the fight. He's built into the type of competitor who willingly accepts serious risks just to create memorable moments for everyone watching, which explains the devoted fan base he's cultivated over the years. Due to that well-deserved reputation as someone who always delivers entertainment value, Usman thought it made perfect sense that Gaethje was secured for the card early in the booking process. The main question that needed answering was finding the right opponent. Who would be a suitable dance partner for that main event spotlight? Once Topuria entered the picture, once the timing aligned with divisional circumstances, that pairing naturally evolved into the headliner because it worked from every conceivable angle.
Well, first of all, let's just talk about that main event. Ilia Topuria versus Justin Gaethje. Of course, this is the fight that we all knew, we all kind of wanted. And Henry, we talked about this before. Justin Gaethje was always on this card. If there was one guy that you stamped as the guy that should be on this card, it's Justin Gaethje. Justin Gaethje is as American as it is. The guy that delivers the whole time, that delivers every time, is willing to really throw his safety out of the window to go out there and entertain. That's the guy that you put on the marquee, of course. And so Justin Gaethje was always on this card. I think the holdup kind of was, well, we want to see what's going on with Ilia Topuria. Is he going to vacate? Is he going up? Would he fight Islam? Or do we see what's going on with Shu? I think this potential showdown this last weekend, Max or Oliveira, do we see how that turns out, how that plays out? Or Armin. So I think there was a lot of things in play here, but you know, Henry, it is what it is. We have our main event, and I think it's a banging main.
He also brought up something fascinating about the storyline developing around this fight. Gaethje finds himself cast as a significant underdog again, which has become a familiar position throughout different points in his career. When fighters keep getting told they're expected to lose, that experts are doubting their chances and predicting defeat, it often elevates their performance to completely different levels, both mentally and physically. So even though Topuria is receiving massive attention due to his recent string of impressive showings, Usman believes Gaethje operates best in these exact scenarios where people question him and count him out. Those moments bring out his most dangerous qualities when pressure mounts and everyone's picking against him. This dynamic is part of what Usman sees making this matchup extremely risky for both competitors, not just a coronation for the betting favorite.
And not only is it a banging main event, look at there's odds out already, and it's crazy, these odds. They still have Justin at like a 4-1 underdog, which is, what was Justin his last fight? He was what is it, a 3-1 underdog the last fight? Something crazy like that. He was the underdog. Justin Gaethje was the underdog. So, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, these whoever the odds makers are or whatever, I just feel like, you know, the disrespect is there. I mean, even myself, I was an underdog in my fight. You know, the disrespect is there, but it is what it is. You know, that's what we love to do as professional athletes. We like to go in there and we like to release.
Luke Thomas analyzed the White House main event between Ilia Topuria and Justin Gaethje as the sensible fight. When you actually examine the divisional landscape and consider what works from a matchmaking standpoint, his reasoning was that looking at realistic options, really studying who's available to compete and how the championship picture currently sits, this pairing makes complete sense due to the belt situation and how everything lined up timing-wise. Topuria carries the primary title while Gaethje arrived with interim gold from his last appearance, creating a scenario where two title holders need resolution. Matching them together cleanly resolves that complication and unifies the championship, delivering exactly what fans and the division require. Thomas also addressed the stylistic elements of this matchup and why it should produce incredible entertainment value, separate from any political discussions about the event or debate over its location. From his perspective, both fighters guarantee non-stop action and finishing threats, making the fight likely to be fierce and explosive for whatever duration it lasts. He noted that Gaethje consistently possesses the ability to alter any fight with one well-timed strike, keeping things dangerous and unpredictable, even with most people currently favoring Topuria based on recent momentum. Simultaneously, he recognized that should Topuria emerge victorious on a platform this large, with this level of viewership and attention focused on the proceedings, it elevates him further as one of the key figures the organization will feature prominently in upcoming years, while developing their next wave of superstars.
Coming, Ilia Topuria versus Justin Gaethje. Of all the available choices that they have, yes, would have been great to have, you know, Ilia versus Arman or Ilia versus Islam, sure. But in a world where Gaethje is already the interim champion based on UFC 324, this is the fight that has to happen to unify those titles, right? Because Ilia has the normal title and Gaethje has the interim one. The fight will be exciting. I know people were talking like, oh, you can't have an American get stretched on the White House lawn. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. There's absolutely no connection historically to mixed martial arts and, you know, I don't know, the patriotic trimmings generally. More to the point, like, this is an important fight. You've got an American in it, and if Ilia wins, you're now putting over on one of your sort of more significant cards one of the most important guys currently on your roster, and maybe for the future of it.
John Morgan believed the matchup between Ilia Topuria and Justin Gaethje actually works well once you understand what this event represents and what it's attempting to achieve from a pure entertainment angle. His central argument was that this White House show isn't solely about perfect rankings or ideal matchmaking based on divisional standings. It's something much bigger than traditional considerations. This is about creating a massive spectacle that will stick in people's memories, generating a moment that goes beyond just the sport itself. Given that unique context and the special nature of this specific event, featuring Gaethje in the main event slot makes total sense from promotional and entertainment angles. Morgan discussed how Gaethje consistently brings complete chaos to his appearances, how uncertainty always surrounds what might happen when he's involved. Even during losses which have occurred previously in his career, fights rarely conclude quietly or without explosive moments. Drama always seems to follow, excitement never lacks, something compelling always develops.
I don't want to take away from Islam Makhachev being in this opportunity because he would have deserved it, right? But I do believe that Islam Makhachev versus Ilia Topuria on the White House lawn is not the fight to make sense, there, right? You got to have Justin Gaethje. There's no more red-blooded American wearing the flag going out there than Justin Gaethje, right? Especially knowing that we probably don't have much Justin Gaethje left, right? He's kind of said, I'm kind of nearing the end of it. So to be like, well, we can't do this, but we'll bring him back at Madison Square Garden, or you know, or some whatever it may be. Like, this is one of a kind. So again, not the Islam from a, you know, a meritocratic standpoint wouldn't deserve this. Of course he would, man, what he's doing. But I actually do like this fight. I think it was the right fight to.
Morgan also leaned toward Topuria as the likely favorite in the actual matchup, when breaking down technical elements and recent form. He referenced the incredible streak Topuria has maintained and the high-level opposition he's already conquered during this dominant period. At this stage of his development, Morgan views Topuria as one of the most well-rounded fighters across the entire sport, someone without glaring vulnerabilities that opponents can target. The striking ability is evident to everyone who watches. His precision and power on the feet are undeniable strengths. But Morgan also emphasized something that occasionally gets overlooked in discussions, which is how solid his ground game has become as well, demonstrating true completeness in his skill set. Because of that comprehensive toolkit, since he poses threats wherever the fight travels, Morgan believes it would prove extremely difficult for anyone to defeat Topuria across 5 full rounds by trying to outclass him, technically through conventional approaches. You'd need something unexpected, some moment of chaos or surprise to engineer an upset victory.
If we're being honest about it, look, Ilia Topuria is the favorite against anybody other than maybe Islam Makhachev right now, and I think that would be a great fight. But I mean, we've seen the run that he's on, the skills he's capable of. He's the favorite here for a reason. If there is somebody, because I don't think you want to outpoint Ilia Topuria over 5 rounds. No. You know what I mean? I don't know. And I think people forget how good his grappling is, too. So you might be like, we've seen how great his striking is. You may say, oh, well, what if you had a real dominant wrestler? Like, he's a pretty good grappler, too.
Well, if last night didn't send you a reminder of that, what he was able to do to Max and what Charles couldn't do to him.
100%,
holy cow.
Right? So I think what you want is somebody that can walk into a battle, take some shots, keep moving forward, and maybe land that big one. Mm-hmm. That's Justin Gaethje.
Justin Gaethje can do it.
That's Justin Gaethje in a nutshell. Now, I think most people and experts ahead of it will be picking Ilia Topuria, but that's again why I think this was.
Tim Welch looked at the match. The matchup between Ilia Topuria and Justin Gaethje is being seen as an extremely challenging mountain to climb for Gaethje, primarily due to where both fighters currently stand in their respective career arcs and the directions their paths are heading. The perspective was that Topuria will probably enter as a substantial favorite with bookmakers and experts because he brings youth, freshness, and momentum from recent wins, while Gaethje is well into his fighting prime with accumulated damage and numerous brutal battles behind him. Even so, and this distinction matters significantly, this wasn't being treated as an easy assignment or predetermined outcome whatsoever. The analysis pointed out that Gaethje always brings legitimate threats because of his devastating punching power, the force he generates, and how aggressive his approach becomes from the opening bell. That constant forward pressure, those punishing calf kicks that break opponents down, plus his wrestling capability when situations call for it, means he maintains multiple paths to make fights messy and chaotic, and transform them into the kind of violent exchanges where surprises happen regularly. That versatility keeps him dangerous even when odds makers don't favor him.
One of the gnarliest boxers in the UFC. He's going to be a huge favorite versus Justin Highlight Gaethje. Justin Highlight Gaethje, 37 years old. It's going to be a tough one. 2-fight win streak, but again, you can never count Justin Gaethje out. The dude hits hard. The dude could calf kick you to hell. He can wrestle good. He's well-rounded. Everyone is going to be counting Justin Gaethje out. And if Justin Gaethje can get it done on that night, oh my God, that'll be sweet.
Ilia Topuria has already begun his preparation for the clash with Justin Gaethje, and his commitment to starting training camp this early demonstrates how seriously he's approaching this challenge and the unique problems it will present. Despite the event still being weeks away, he's already back to daily grinding and focusing on the specific type of warfare that Gaethje inevitably brings, that suffocating pressure, that unpredictability, that constant threat level. This dedication also hints at what kind of main event spectacle this might become when fight night finally happens. Topuria enters with serious confidence and momentum from his latest showings, while Gaethje represents the type of competitor who never participates in slow or cautious or technical battles. He delivers brutality every single appearance. Given both men are known for spectacular finishes, with both carrying legitimate one-shot knockout capability, this matchup holds genuine potential to develop into one of those unforgettable wars that people reference for years after the event concludes and everything settles. Tell us your prediction for this one, because honestly, either man could end up victorious when that cage door finally locks.